Chapter 6. Into an underground pit? No, into the basement. I landed hard on my hands and knees. Pain shot through my body, then quickly faded. Luckily, the floor was soft and spongy from all the dampness, so I wasn't really hurt. I took a deep breath and choked on the bitter smell of mildew. Yuck. I could even taste it on my tongue. This is all Wilson's fault. Wilson, always proving that he's the best, never giving me a break. Okay, forget about Wilson, I told myself. Calm down. You have to find a way out of this disgusting basement. I stood up and searched for stairs, a door, a window, but I couldn't see a thing. Too dark. As if a heavy black blanket had been thrown over everything. My sneakers sank into the decaying floor as I made my way blindly through the room. My knee bumped into something. A chair? I reached out and ran my hands over it. Yes, a chair. Good. If there's a chair down here, maybe I could stand on it, climb back up into the kitchen, or climb out a basement window. I moved slowly through the room. I swashed through a deep puddle. The cold water seeped from my sneakers. I'm going to get you for this, Wilson. I tripped over a table, and something crashed to the floor. I heard glass shatter, and then I heard a splash. My heart skipped a beat. Another animal? Another mouse or rat? I didn't want to think about it. My temples began to pound. How was I going to get out of here? Should I scream for help? Who would hear me down here? No one, that's who. On trembling legs, I moved through the room, hands out in front of me, groping in the dark. I stumbled into another table. I ran my hands over it. No, not a table, more like a bench, a workbench. My hands brushed across its top. I felt a hammer, a screwdriver, and a candle. My fingers scrambled over the workbench, searching for a match to light it. I groped my way across the entire workbench. No matches. I backed away from the bench, and my sneaker rolled over something round. Something round. Like a flashlight. I picked it up. Yes, a flashlight! My fingers shook as I fumbled for the switch. Please work. Please work. Please work. I flicked it on. A pale yellow beam of light reached weakly into the gloom. The flashlight was dim, but I could see. I'm out of here, I cheered. I swept the weak beam of light in front of me. I had fallen into a small room. Thick cobwebs draped the peeling walls. A rusty washing machine and clothes dryer sat in one corner. A small wooden table and a smashed lamp lay on the floor in front of them. I moved the light closer and saw a battered camp trunk. I ran my hand over the lid. Yuck! It was covered with a thick layer of damp, smelling mold. The tramp's rusted hinges creaked as I lifted the top. I pointed my flashlight beam inside. Nothing in there. Nothing but an old book. I read the title out loud. Flying Lessons. I flipped through the yellow pages, searching for pictures of airplanes. I love airplanes. There wasn't a single plane inside. The pages were filled with old-fashioned drawings of humans flying through the air. People of all ages. Men with white beards, women in long dresses, children in funny old clothing, all soaring through the sky. What a strange old book. I flipped the page for more pages until I heard another splash. I swept my flashlight over the floor and gasped. Oh, no! A low wail escaped my lips. I moved the pale light back and forth, hoping I wasn't seeing what I was seeing. But even in the dim light, I could see the dark bodies. The tiny eyes glowing red, the open-toothed jaws. Rats. Dozens of rats, scuttling across the floor, moving in on me. I leaped back. I gaped in horror as it closed in. Sharp toenails clicked against the floor. Scraggly tails swished through the filthy puddles as it scurried forward. A gray sea of rats. I froze in terror. I gripped the flashlight tightly to stop it from shaking. The rats snapped their jaws. They began to hiss. The ugly sound echoed off the damp walls of the small room. Dozens of tiny red eyes glowed up at me. The hissing grew louder. Louder. Jaws snapped. Tails swished back and forth. The creatures scuttled over one another, eager to get me. And then a big fat rat darted out in front of the pack. It glared up at me hungrily with glowing red eyes. It bared sharp fangs. I tried to back away, but I hit the wall. Nowhere to run. The rat uttered a shrill cry. It pulled back on its hind legs and sprang forward. 7. Next time.